Ireland would no longer have sovereignty. Because what they're doing is they're taking the debts of a private banking system, which are tied to Jacob Rothschild's creation, the Inter-Alpha Group. These banks are functioning as the control mechanism inside the European Union on finances. They are proposing that the European Union go into debt to buy up bankrupt banks and hold the nations of these countries responsible for paying those usurious debts and giving up all sovereignty, 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 giving up all sovereignty.
Ireland is in so much debt now that we know that it will be repaying this debt for the next how many years, so it's hard to see a future here.
Family is very important, and that's one of the things that we're probably going to lose in Ireland here by all these people going. And it's sad.
Oh, don't cry.
The National Youth Council of Ireland says in the last 4 years, over 300,000 people have left the country. More than 40% of those emigrants were aged between 15 and 24.
This brain drain will have devastating consequences for Ireland. We're losing some of our brightest. The young people said it very often, it feels like you're gone, it's goodbye and good luck, and that there's no one really responding to the issue.
400,000 have left since Ireland's economic collapse in 2008.
You bring this subject up and people think you're racist, like, you know what I mean? We're not racist, like, we're a minority now in our community.
We have lived through a number of centuries where concepts of absolute sovereignty of states have gradually, fortunately, eroded.
Our homogeneity and difference from others, which is precisely what the European Union might be doing its best to undermine.
Count Richard Nikolaus von Coudenhove-Kalergi, and he's basically behind the roots of the European Union himself. The man of the future will be of mixed race. Today's races and classes will gradually disappear, owning the vanishing of space, time and prejudice. The Eurasian Negroid race of the future will replace diversity of people with diversity of individuals.
The future can only be provided by more, not less, integration of the European project. The process of developing the euro is irreversible. So also must be the integration of Europe as a whole.
That's why the economic globalization of removing borders, GATT, WTO, European Union, so on, that's why it's vital, because the way to deal with this is to integrate into it.
If they don't handle this in a better way, maybe not in a year, maybe not in 2 years, but later, there will be some clashes. Exactly what happened in France, because people are not mixing up.
I think there's a resurgence of anti-Semitism because at this point in time, Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural.
It's a deeply misunderstood idea. But multiculturalism is not the same as multiracialism or pluralism. Nevertheless, for years, anyone who has criticised multiculturalism has been described as a racist.
I saw her on Street Strand, etching letters in the wet sand with the feather that met her hand like a pencil fallen from the sky. At first it looked like she was writing love letters from the moon to the sun, the way the waves come to her commands and night rises slowly to swallow us, following the silhouettes we paint like barriers around ourselves into a deeper darkness, searching for light. When she started to sing, the sun's knees fell from beneath it as it gave in to the horizon, flinging its brush across the skies in ever-changing paintings of pure art. Stars of the universe emerge blinking from their beds, drawn to her voice like dolphins to the fisherman's oar. Lassidia fled from the dunes as Athena stalked Ben Bulben's boar, and even Jermyn turned his head to hear her sing once more. Summoned druids from their graves and hurled a harbinger of light. Baelor cast his evil eye, Lu stretched out his arm, Cuchulainn threw his shoulders wide beside the Tuatha, lit up by fires burning bright from all across the land. There rose the spirits of the glen whose souls had never died, and after them the mortal men came on to lead the fight. The Púcas and Fomorians within her pastures stood, as Emmett cleared his throat and then addressed his brotherhood. Baru and Wolftongue came to them to forge as well they could the spears of ancient Ireland in oak carved from her wood. When Eru finished writing, she put her feather down, shook the weather from her hair, then slowly turned around to see that there beneath the mountain on every blade of ground, old Ireland as an army stood, her people gathered round, called from all directions by the siren of her sound. The lightning flashed in streaks above Slieve Lee, but undeterred the crowds amassed and gathered unfatigued, to march from west upon the east, to waken from their sleep the men who suffered pain the least, but soon would come to weep. And this at last she sang to them as waves lapped at her feet. The ocean washed her words away, and in the night she rode. A horse as white as any wave to rest in Tiernan Oak. As to the pale they set their sails, and in the darkness sang the song of Eru and the tales of how their war began.